Thing you need to be a successful creator. We've heard it, thought it, and said it so many times. We don't have the time, we don't have the tools, we don't know where to start without truly understanding where all of this stems from. Today I want to talk about why most people don't get over these objections. So wherever you are on your journey from beginner to pro, we can start applying certain techniques against these things so we can start creating our best work. There's always a reason why we can't perform our creative, but we have to be careful because this is very dangerous. These are not valid excuses though. We have examples like a Steve Lacy, whose mother couldn't afford to buy him a MacBook, so he got his hands on an iPhone instead, and an old iPhone at that at the time, and somehow created a Grammy with this thing. We can't forget at the foundation, we are problem solvers, and your creativity and its output are part of the solution. Not creating is like the word being on the tip of your tongue, but you can't quite remember it. Like you trying to clean clothes by only spraying Febreze without putting it in the washing machine. It doesn't quite cut it. The most important thing to understand though is that you and only you are standing in the way of you creating your masterpiece. You may feel like you're missing pieces of the puzzle because you actually are missing asking the right questions. Especially when we're embarking on a new challenge, a new journey, you have to embrace the fact that you have zero clue of how to get to a place you've never been before. Once you accept this reality, then you have to give yourself purposeful time to even achieve a sliver of clarity to start bridging the gap. For example, I want to make music. I end up Googling how to produce music. Now, first off, what you're gonna get is a list of school and courses right off the bat. Now that isn't really helpful because they're telling me to enlist, pay a bunch of money to even find out what the first step is. Now, you go a bit deeper, then you start getting different blog posts of people who might be professional, might just write about it. Then they'll tell you a list of things to do with zero detail, like train your ears, practice writing music, decide on what gear you're gonna use. So now if I'm a beginner and I know nothing about the process, how would I even know how to tackle any one of these ideas? See, most people stop right there. This took me a couple of minutes. We're so eager to trade our dreams after speaking with someone for 5 minutes that usually knows no better than us, or Googling and ending up not with our desired result. We are incredibly privileged with the wealth of information that we have readily available for us today. But also the other coin of that is that it leaves us overwhelmed and confused with understanding where to go from there. That's why finding a mentor can be so incredibly valuable. Just about anyone ahead of you to put you up on game. For those of you that don't know said person, great news. That's why we have things like books, YouTube, courses. None of these are perfect options, but a lot of this all together, they'll do the trick. Only thing making these things equally useless is not acting on any of the information that you're getting. You are going to get great, good, bad, and terrible advice wherever you look. Now, the only way to actually know which one fits into that category is giving an honest effort. If you were to aim to disqualify the most information about your craft possible, you'd find yourself moving faster and better than anybody else in your field of creativity. That's our underrated, underappreciated first step in not knowing where to start. Google better, read books, take courses, then Google some more. It should and can take you multiple hours to find the information and distill it down into a plan that works for you. Don't skip this step, but also don't take too much time either. The plan doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be able to move you forward. Now I want to talk about the simplest, but arguably maybe the most important thing I learned about creativity, and actually I learned this working in the corporate world when I was working there full time. So I'm comfortable saying I'm a hard worker. Now, in this corporate job, I worked in a sales position. This sales position required me to do a lot of phone calls. Absolutely terrible. Great skill for anyone, but I wasn't loving it. But, like I said, I was a hard worker. I wanted to make sure my weekly, monthly, quarterly goals were all met. And I did that, but I did that sweating, and the soul sucked out of me every single time. Now, we had this one coworker. I would see him all day, just chilling. Real water cooler talking guy, nice guy, but I'm like, I don't see this guy working hard. But the thing is, at the end of the day, he had just as much as us in terms of sales revenue, and a lot of times he had more. Then when I got to the point where I'm asking him what he's doing, I start to realize that what he would do is he stopped trying to sell everything we had access to sell. He chose one particular product, and this one particular product happened to be easier to sell than what I was trying to do every day. And not only that, this product was actually about 6 to 7 times the sales revenue I was getting on doing the little stuff. So I started to adopt this method and it changed everything for me. So now this is something I even take now into my creativity. Living through this example blew my mind because it really put the emphasis on working smarter, not harder. It may be that there's one particular skill that if you were to double down on, now that would 10x your work and 10x your progress. It may be that working on one of your weaknesses might do the same thing. What's important for you is to spend time understanding where could be those 10x's within your work, because that could be all the difference whether you are able to continue your creativity or have to halt it because life gets in the way. Working hard alone does not elicit the change we want to see if it's not properly directed. Intentional smart repetition and practices in pursuit of finishing your projects goes such a long way. Build that up now with consistency. You can't be beat. Your best work is waiting. Go create, be great. Peace.